There's been so many
Previously
times where
on
we've gone to
LJ's
restaurants,
Reality.
Fast food places, and I go to order, and I just like completely lose it.
You need to tell me what you want to eat, or we are going to Portillo.
Some Uncle John's ribs.
It's honestly the most embarrassing thing in the world. We like pulled up at Portillo's, and the person comes to take my order. I literally say, I'm like 2 words in, and completely lose it. And the poor guy's just standing there, and he has no idea what's going on. And I'm just hoping when we go again today, it's not the same guy.
Okay, we have to lock it. Don't do this.
Can I have 2 vegan hot dogs? Plain. A plain fish sandwich. Plain. A large fry.
I'm so sorry.
Something about a new day makes me want to spend money. I do kind of have a shopping problem.
I want these too.
It brings me joy.
Oh my gosh, did they sell out?
I won't wake up for a 9 a.m. class, but I will wake up for a new clothing drop. That's just who I am.
What am I gonna do? I needed that.
My favorite brand of all time is definitely Skims. I literally own every single item from Skims, just about, besides the bras and panties. I would spend my last dollars on Skims. It just brings me joy, and I'm their biggest supporter.
Oh, I need this bad. I need this real bad. Do you think I would look good in this?
People always ask me, what's your biggest joy in life? What do you like to do for fun? Spend money, especially when it's not mine.
No.
A popular belief, although I may spend a lot of money, I am pretty smart with my finances. I am a businessman at the end of the day, so, I do overspend. They do not get it. But it comes back. I don't chase, I attract. I'm abundant, I bring in money. I'll never have money issues. I am unemployed. I've always been unemployed, but that doesn't mean I can't treat myself. I'm currently going through a jeans phase. I've always hated jeans. They're just so uncomfortable. They don't fit my body shape, Having such a bigger lower half and a really small waist really makes finding jeans that fit really hard. But they really do elevate your style, so I've been in the market. Okay, who keeps buying Skims? Because this is the 4th box. They need help. Are these my Skims? I have a problem.
Well, let me tell you. So, like I said, I was like, okay, I don't have a job. I want to buy these things, and I've always heard about like sugar babies and stuff like that. So I've always thought about it.
Mhm.
I've seen websites like Seeking Arrangements and
Mhm.
they were saying you get beat up off there. So like I was like, I don't want
Okay.
to risk that.
Yeah.
But like when I'm like, I think Tinder or something, and there was a 58-year-old,
Okay.
which is again like 40 years older than me. So the thing is that he lived in this area
Mhm.
and he had a son. So I was like, whose dad is this? You know, because
Right.
I'm like, they're my age at that point because he's about the
Oh.
same age as my parents.
Right.
And I'm just like, okay, I'm curious. Let me
Mhm.
just see what's going on.
Mhm.
Before you judge me, I was not expecting it to really go anywhere. I was just curious. I just wanted to see who this man was because, again, in my neighborhood, probably has a kid my age. Does. So I was just curious to see who it was. I really wasn't planning on doing anything. But I do need to finance my lifestyle.
So we talk and we like plan to meet. And so, you know, my mom would never go for
Mhm.
So she leaves the house
Mhm.
and like I go to the park and he like meets me there in this like car. He pulls up. I don't know what he looks like, mind you.
Mhm.
So he pulls up and it's like this old white man.
I don't know why, but I do attract a lot of old white men. I don't know why.
Okay.
And I don't have like a racial preference. Like I'm not like, you know,
Yeah.
no, niggas be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So he's like this old white man, and he's not like, you know, a Travis Kelce. Like
Okay.
he's not
Mhm.
everything and more.
Mhm.
And not that I was looking for like any sort of connection. I was just curious.
Yeah.
And I'm not like this old man is talking to a 20-year-old. He probably knows he has to spend some money or something.
Mhm.
I have a plan for my life. Plan A is that this all works out. My creative social media stuff works out. It's not working out right now. Plan B is I sell myself off to somebody, like a dowry, and you know, I'm just provided for. I can raise the kids. I could be a stay-at-home dad, but not like a escort. I do like how escorting sounds, but I don't think I could do that. I'm not that desperate, but I would marry myself off. So let me take hers.
I wasn't gonna sleep with this dude. I don't do that. I'm not a whore.
Right.
You know? So we sit down, and I'm like, oh gosh, like what did I do? Like this is too much.
I feel like in that moment, my like prefrontal cortex developed, and I was kind of regretting it. And I just wanted the whole interaction to be over.
And he tells me his name. He's asking about me. He's like, you're so beautiful. You're such a beautiful boy.
I don't know if the boy stuff is like pedophilic. Kind of sounds like it now that I think about it.
And I was like, boy, like that's some weird stuff, right?
Yeah, sounded kind of
So he's like, he was telling me about like he does this all the time. Like he's a bunch of like boys, and like they meet up, and like he was like, yeah, like I like to treat my boys. And so in my ear, I'm like, oh, treat, you know, what does that mean? You know, I want my treat. You know, so he was saying that he likes to take them on vacations and like, you know, take them to nice restaurants.
I honestly wasn't into the whole vacation thing. First off, explaining that to my parents, not doing that, and nor do I want to go on vacation with a 60-year-old who's a freak.
And I don't know, I wasn't really expecting that. I kind of wanted someone to just like give me money, like a weekly allowance kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like he looked like Travis Kelce, not to shout out to him, but this was a 60-year-old aging father.
And so he's telling me all this, and he was like, but there's also punishment. And I was like, punishment?
Oh.
You know,
Okay.
weird. And he was saying that he spanks.
Mm. Wow.
So at this point, I'm like, oh, shit, this is the wrong thing to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, like I love to spank a boy. And he was like, how do you feel about spanking? And I'm just sitting there like, first off, like, I've never been like that into that. Like,
Yeah.
middle of my spanking, like, I'm not a kid.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was like, oh, like, it's okay. Like, that's cool. I've never really done it before, but cool. And he's like, you know, it hurts, right? And I'm like, oh, I want, you know, okay. So he's like, he like touches my knee and he's looking at me. He's like, we can have a really fun time. And this is like an old white man. So I see like a grandpa at this point. So I'm just, can you imagine? I'm just sitting there just like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, okay, he's a freak. I don't know if I can do all this. This is too much. So I asked him and I'm like, well, you know, I really like shopping.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know, but I think restaurants and stuff are nice, but again, like, I prefer to like, you know, go shopping or like go to, you know, online shop, whatever. So he was like, what do you like? And like, have you heard of Skims?
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian stuff. That's all I wear.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, you know, this website Skims. And he's like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, it's like Kim Kardashian's brand. He's like, well, how much is it? And I'm like, well, it's like probably overpriced, but it's like a somewhat decent price.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, okay, I'll check that out. But I don't want to like pay to play.
I mean, I'm not sure what he was expecting from a 20-year-old at 58, now 59-year-old, 40 years older than me. What can I get from a 60-year-old? Raisin Bran?
And like again, he's using these like weird terminology, like he's like a freak, like he's a freaky old man.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, it's not like pay to play, but I feel like if you're gonna treat me, you might as well treat me the way like I like to be, you know, rewarded.
Right.
And so he like wouldn't give me his number because he was like, I work for this like big company and you know I have a image to uphold and all this stuff, and I'm just kind of like, dude, what am I gonna do?
Right.
Well, I work at a Fortune 500 company and I do da. Baby, I don't watch Wheel of Fortune. I have never seen an episode of Wheel of Fortune. I don't know anybody that watches Wheel of Fortune, so I don't know why he brought that up. I don't even know what Wheel of Fortune's about, so I don't know why he mentioned that he worked for a Fortune 500. I don't watch Wheel of Fortune.
What can I do with a 38 year plus age gap?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you can come over this weekend and we can play. And in my head, I'm just like,
You gotta have the same. Gotta be here.
yeah, I don't think I'm built for that. Like I know people can like, just money is their motivation, but I don't know if like I'm that desperate. Like I want someone to buy my stuff, but like
that other stuff you talking about.
the spanking. And let me tell you, this is where it gets crazy.
Okay.
So he's asking about like where I go to school, and I'm like, oh, I go like I'm in California, like Northern California, and he was like, oh, that's like really close to this convention I go to, the spanking convention. I'd really like to take you to the spanking convention.
Wait.
It's like a full on out like arena of people that like are like spanking like a kink. I don't know.
Okay.
And he wanted to take me there. And he's like, well, you know, it's right by your school, so I can come and, you know, pick you up and we can go to the spanking convention together. And I'm just like,
If you think a meal is gonna get my pants off, I think he thought I was dumb and naive. I mean, I wouldn't do it for a Skims cart, but at least I'd have some motivation.
I'm not about that. Like,
yeah.
but I wanted my Skims cart, but I'm like, I'm not about that. I'm not gonna do it. And then like I think he kind of like doesn't text me for a while, and I'm like, I think at some point I was like, you know, I'm trying to get my Skims cart, you know, whatever. So I'm like, what's up? And he was like, well, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable about the whole pay to play thing.
You just want to play.
Like, yeah, you just want to spank it. Like,
You just like,
it's giving like, I don't know. I told my other friend, and she was like, it gives like pedophilia, like slave, like boy,
that's
like
what I was wondering.
the boy, and
I
like,
got
all
my
that.
boys.
Yeah, my boys and
black.
Not sure what I was expecting. I just wanted something to do. Someone to buy me something. I mean, that's like my love language. I love to receive gifts. So if I could get that from someone, without having to give sugar, because I think that's what I was kind of like, or that's what he thought I wanted,
He was like, "Do you find me attractive?" And I was like, "But I said I was like, looks don't impress me."
No, not so not really.
I was like, looks don't impress me.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of pedophilia. It's a little bit.
Like, if you're a 60-year-old man going up to 20-year-old, you know what's up. You know a 20-year-old is not with you because you know you're just the love of their life.
Okay.
If plan A doesn't work out, I will end up with a 60-year-old. I'm not ashamed of that. Mark my words.
But he was just like, I'm really struggling with this idea. It's just, I don't know. I feel like you won't play with me if I don't give you, you know, what you want. And I'm just like,
he into some other stuff.
You into some other stuff?
Yeah, you not no sugar.
You ain't about it like
you a spanking daddy.
Yeah, and you want to
no
go to take me out and spank me under the table.
Sugar daddy is something. He on some other shit.
He had some other stuff because he was like, I'm a really nice man and a really nice job.
I am not into spanking. I wouldn't allow someone to spank me for money. You know, I was just curious, seeing if I could get, you know, some money out of it for free. I needed a plot line. You know, I'm putting myself in danger for people, for the 4 viewers. I almost got spanked by a senior citizen and then dragged to a spanking convention for 4 viewers.
You know,
He on some weird stuff.
Spanking. No, yeah, he's not a sugar daddy for real.
Yeah.
Because sugar daddies know it's going to be some money involved.
Yeah,
like,
something.
and I don't think you mentioned
a
it too
vacation.
fast. Vacations too, like, but I don't think you mentioned money too fast. You being blunt and important. This is what I'm looking for.
If you're gonna tell me you want to spank
You looking for? You told me what you was looking for.
Right.
I told you what I was looking for.
Right.
Now, if we can't, then
Right.
Ooh.
And like a vacation, I don't think I'm gonna go on vacation with like somebody I don't like that. And first off, what I'm gonna tell my mom? What am I gonna tell them? They'll be like, "Where you at?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm in Barbados."
Hawaii. No,
With some
where
old ass
you get that
man.
from? Where you get this money from?
Oh my gosh, I promise you, I forgot what word he used, but he was like, "How would you feel? How would your parents feel about you being here with some like creepy old man?" And
I have to emphasize one more time, I wasn't gonna do anything. I feel like I keep honing that in, but I feel like I have to make sure that's like a clear message here.
Oh Lord, what did I get myself into? Like, what's going on?
You know, I think I was very smart about the whole situation. We met in a public place. I didn't tell him where I lived. You know, I was cautious. I know a lot about, like, you know, horror stuff and like stalking and crime shows, all that. So I would never do anything.
Crazy. I mean,
I thought I was gonna get my little Skims cut. I was so excited. I was like, I can make this happen.
A whole plot twist.
Yeah, a spanking convention.
Spanking by your school. What a coinky dink. By you said
I can come get you. I'll pay for your ticket. You know.
So you want to pay for my ticket?
Yeah, but you can't give me no Skims. And I'm like, he was like, yeah, like my boys. I spent like $2,000 on a vacation with one of my boys, and I was like, I'm not impressed by like $2,000. Like, you know.
$2,000, but you can buy this skin.
Yeah, I'm like,
I wasn't gonna do anything. I wasn't gonna do anything. Let's make that clear.
you wanna spank? You wanna
spank? You want spank? We
Dirty.
Two different shits.
Dirty. I like for my life. I was always saying like I don't know what I'm gonna do in my life, and like if my interests don't work out. I would like marry myself off to somebody.
Period.
And like marry rich and like that would be my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's looking kind of, I don't know.
This is the day. It's for the plot. I needed an episode. I needed something to talk about. Strictly business. So I don't want people out here thinking I'm messing with 60-year-olds, let alone men.
Next on LJ's reality.
So he calls me, and I thought it was about the rave. But I pick up, and he's screaming at me. He's like, I saw your trailer. Louis, like, what the fuck? How could you do that? I know it's about me. You said he gives you no effort.
Who else could that be about? You let this get between our friendship since the beginning, da 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 da. And I'm kind of just sitting there because I'm like it was posted publicly. It was on my YouTube channel. I posted it on TikTok. I wasn't hiding it. I told him about it. So I was kind of like, dude, you had every opportunity to see this. You're seeing it 2 weeks late at this point. Like, for you to act like I'm hiding it. And he was like, my mom also saw it.